information about his career as a graphic designer and just bits of insight and things like that. So, welcome, Sindre, and tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, as you said, my name is Sindre, and I'm a graphic designer based in Norway, in the Oslo area. And I have been kind of doing graphic design for for about 10 years as a hobby, mostly for most of those years because I'm still quite young.
Mhm.
So I think I downloaded like a version of Photoshop when I was 13, I think, and then I kind of never stopped.
Okay.
And so, but my professional career has been going on for three years mostly. So I'm relatively new to the field, but I think it's very exciting, and I look forward to many more years in this field. Basically, yeah.
So, what made you decide to join the Graphic Designers Hub group?
Well, I think it's really important because during my years now as graphic designers, there hasn't really been a forum for different designers from across the world, especially to connect and communicate and discuss and showcase their work. So I think having a forum like that can be really valuable as a designer because it's nice to get, first of all, to connect with people that do the same thing as you do, because
Mhm.
that can be nice sometimes, but also to improve as a designer and to learn from other people, and also teach other people maybe some new stuff or techniques. And so yeah, I think it's an important initiative that you have created here.
Thank you. And also, I'll go a step further. We want you all to collaborate, partner,
Mm,
because there
yeah,
may be a need. One designer can't do it all.
yeah, that's true.
So, this being in this space, it creates a place where you can find partners so you can expand and grow your business.
Yeah. Uh, I often, when I have projects, suddenly you have an idea that you may not have the skills to do. And I think it can be scary sometimes to ask someone completely random to do it for you because you never know who's on the other side. So it's kind of comforting to have this safe space of other people that you know you can reach out to and get help from.
Yeah, cool. Okay. So, I understand you do logos and illustrations. I had the pleasure of visiting your website. So I know you said that you downloaded Photoshop at 13 and you started and you went from there. But what made you focus on logos and illustrations as your niche?
Um, Illustrations is something that I always kind of gravitated towards because I always liked to draw as a kid, especially when I was really young. And that's something I always enjoyed to do in my free time. And I kind of went on like a hiatus of not doing it for a couple of years. Um, and then I realized that that's such an important and good skill to have, to be able to visualize information through drawings. Either if you do it as illustrations, beautiful illustrations, or just to kind of visualize it more for yourself and sketches and all this stuff. I just think it's an important skill to have. So I kind of been honing it, and I think it's really
Mhm.
fun. So it was just kind of a natural progression in my career that as soon as I also went digital with my illustrations, that opened up a whole new world of possibilities for me. So I just really enjoy it, and that's why I do it. And for logo design, is also something that there's something about the process of logo design that I find really interesting.
Mhm.
The kind of taking the essence and identity of a company and trying to compress it into this one symbol. I think it's so fun to do and to kind of try to work out how can I convey the information that I want to convey here as easily as possible. And sometimes you might end up with something super simple, even though you have worked on 50
Yeah.
hours, which is which maybe is someone who don't do design won't understand how you can use 10, 50 hours to make this. But yeah, no, I just really enjoy the process for the most part. Yeah.
Okay. So, you said illustrations. We're going to go back to illustrations. So, when you're working with clients on illustrations, let's just say the digital space, what possibilities have you discovered? Because you said it opened up so many additional opportunities and possibilities. What were some of those opportunities or possibilities?
Uh, well, the first thing is uh, it makes it much easier to kind of work with after the fact, because when you do it digitally, you can always you can always alter it later. And Illustrator, it's a very non-destructive way of making stuff because you can always change it, and it
Okay.
made it a lot easier to work with clients, for example, because if you have made some big illustration that is almost finished and they want to change something, it's very easy to change. Um, yeah, and I just think it's a nice tool to have in your pocket because, for example, I had this project once that they wanted to convey a couple of keywords of information or a couple of keywords of feelings. And initially, we were just going to make a logo and a visual identity, but we kind of figured out that the best way to convey this is by through illustration. Uh, and since I had this in my back pocket, this skill, I could implement it, which I think is real fun. And that's why I really enjoy learning new skills, and that's also why I became started with illustrations in the first place, because I see a nice illustration and I think I want to also do that.
Right.
So for me, yeah, I think it's not something I necessarily use all the time with
Mhm.
clients. I mainly focus on visual identities and logos, but it's definitely something that I want to do more of, for sure,
Okay.
because it's really fun, and it kind of makes me use my more artsy side of
Mm.
my personality, I suppose.
Okay. Now, do you run into any common challenges with your illustration clients? Like you know, there's something that repeats itself over and over whenever you're working with an illustration client. Do you have one of those things? I know when you deal with web design, a lot of times people don't have their content ready, but they want a website created. So, is there a common challenge that you find when working with illustration clients?
I would actually say that a lot of the problems that you normally have in both web design, as you say, and also in, for example, editorial design, that content is not ready, for example, uh, there's maybe not that much challenges to illustration in that sense. It's more the biggest challenge is often a client will say, no, you just do whatever you think is best because you're the professional, and they don't have any concrete ideas about what they want, but suddenly when you actually deliver something, they have a very clear
Clear.
idea of what they want, um, which can be frustrating sometimes, but that is a big part of being a designer. A lot of the times is that maybe the client isn't managing to be able to formulate what they actually want. But
Right.
I don't think there's too many reoccurring challenges. I have had mostly positive experiences so
Oh,
far.
good.
Yeah.
Good. So, based on the positive experiences, would have been your favorite projects this year or all time? Can you tell us more about that?
Yes, I have one that's probably my favorite. Yeah, which is I did this project for the Norwegian Chess Association,
Mm.
which was kind of big for me because I'm very new to the field, and this is a very big corporation in Norway. So I was really happy to get this job, and they wanted a logo and some illustrations to showcase their identity in a new project, which was a chess project for everyone, where we wanted diversity in people to come and play chess as a meeting ground and a place to connect with other people through chess. And so I made this kind of illustrative logo for this project, and also these illustrations that they wanted, which was they wanted, of course, something to do with chess, but they weren't really sure what they wanted, which is always scary to hear, as I said earlier. But I made these cute little chess pieces that are kind of communicating and doing daily tasks with each other and with personalities and faces, and
Ah,
it really conveyed the essence of the project. It's a diversity of chess figures being together and having a good time, which is what the project is all about. So I was really happy with that, and the client was also really happy
oh,
with
good.
our initial proposal. So it turned out great, and this project, chess project, is now, I think it's over 100 places in Norway, which is crazy to me because that's my design being over 100 places
Yeah,
in the
yeah,
country,
that's
which
cool.
is really fun. Also on digital, and also what do you call it in English? On paper, pressed
Print.
print. Yeah, print.
Hmm.
So it was a lot of fun, and it was also one of my earlier real clients,
Hmm.
like really professional big clients. So I learned a lot, and it was very fun as well.
Good, good. So as I looked at your website, you had some really fun illustrations on there, and it leaned more towards entertainment. Do you focus on the entertainment clients, or that's just where you've found work? Um, is that your focus? Do you pursue entertainment clients?
I don't really pursue entertainment clients, at least not yet. It's more something that I fall into. I fall into sometimes, but um, it is, of course, something that I think is really fun to do. But it hasn't really been a focus of mine. My focus mainly has tried to get, uh, companies, smaller companies who want a whole identity for their company, a visual identity. But sometimes, you get these other projects, which I think is a lot of fun as well. Um, but yeah, that's my focus for now, at least. Is
Okay.
sort of, yeah, B2B or business to business for my sakes in
Okay.
visual identities. Yeah.
All right. So I understand you're working on a partnership with another designer. So, what type of services will you provide with that business? Have you guys launched it? Just anything you want to share.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm currently developing and creating a design agency with another colleague. Um, and our plan is, in the beginning at least, to start. We want to provide logo design and visual identities and web design. Those are kind of our three main products that we want to deliver in the first place. Uh, but we also have want to develop it more later, and also be able to give clients, for example, search engine optimization and more marketing based services and stuff like that. But in the start, we're focusing more on small companies, maybe new companies who need
Mhm.
a new logo or a new identity for the company, and maybe some direction and conceptual development if they want. um, because that's something that we, the two of us, really enjoy to do, and we are now doing it for ourselves. Developing our own concept and our own visual identity, and it's really really fun, and it's been a blast so far. But it's a lot of work
It
to
is.
start your own agency. It's insane. So a lot of my time now is going into that, which for now is it's not no money in it, of course, because we're just developing our own agency, and no one is going to pay us for that yet. So
Yeah, but it's an investment in your future. So
yes, and my kind of train of thought here is that this is going to be a really really valuable experience for us, because now we are doing stuff we have never done before. We are learning new skills. We are doing everything from the ground up. We are making a website now, which is something that we like to do, but we're not so super great at it. But we have learned so much the last couple of months. And let's say the company in 3-4 years it goes bankrupt, for example. Um, that's a shame, obviously, but we will still be sitting with 3-4 years of experience, and 3-4 years of experience in design and in leadership and in business. And I think it's going to be worth it either way, because that knowledge is so valuable. I think that, yeah, it doesn't really matter how it goes, or it does, but worst case scenario is a pretty good scenario for me. So yeah.
yeah, the destination is where you get all the nuggets of gold. The journey is where those nuggets are, and the destination is just
Yeah, and we're
that.
we're still young as well. I'm just out of university, and we have a lot of time to fail.
I don't think it's fail. I think it's refining. You
Yeah,
have a lot of time to refine your process
it's
to
true.
get it right. It's just staying focused and disciplined during the journey so that
Mm,
you can reach it. Because if you do that, you'll reach it. You
mm.
just need to stay focused. And it sounds like you're already on a great path.
Yeah, no, it's been a lot of fun, and hopefully it will stay that way for many many years. And yeah, no, I think it's gonna go pretty well.
Yeah.
I hope.
The key is to put one foot in front of the other.
Yeah,
Take it one step at a time and keep moving. That's it. That's it.
yeah, that's true. And I think for everyone who is maybe thinking of maybe doing something like this, just
Hmm.
do it. What's the worst that can
Yeah.
happen? It's not.
Do it afraid.
Just yeah, because uh, what's the worst thing that can happen? You fail, and it's not a big deal. You get up on your feet again. And in this business, it's not necessarily that big of a financial, what's it, financial, financial.
Financial. Uh-huh.
Yes, thank you. Investment, if you don't want it to be, because you are the product essentially. You don't
Yeah.
have to buy a product. If you have yourself, you can do everything basically. So yeah,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think it's exciting.
Yeah, it is. So let me ask you this one last question. If you had to redo the last 3 years, what would you change?
That's a good question. Um, I probably the first thing I would do is I would probably start with the project I'm doing now 3 years ago instead of now.
Yeah, okay.
Uh, uh, because then I would be 3 years in now, and I would have a head start, of course. And also during the last 3 years, I've been in school as well, uh, which has been valuable, of course. But the most valuable thing I gained from those 3 years was the stuff I did outside of school.
Hmm.
Because I worked a lot of with design outside of school as well, because I didn't think the school had enough of practical tasks for us to do, and it's important to have a portfolio when you exit. But I would probably do more of that if I had to do it again, as much as possible, because when you I graduated now in early summer. That was a kind of difficult time to graduate because of, obviously it's a field that is very competitive already, but also there was this pandemic that you might have heard of that kind of didn't help exactly. So I think just preparing more for the future is the one thing I would do differently.
All right. Well, I personally think you're on the right track, and the revelations and the insight will definitely come because you're thirsty for it and you seek out, wisdom and um, knowledge. So it'll come. It'll definitely come.
Thank you. Yeah,
Well, thank you, Sindre.
thank you. Thank you for having me. It's been fun.
Yeah, I enjoy getting to know you and I look forward to chatting with you inside the group. But
Yes.
give us, before we go, give us your website.
Oh, I would actually direct you to my Instagram. That's much easier for
Okay,
everyone, which
okay.
is Hartberg Design. From there, you can access the website, but the website is actually, I'm going to revamp it now
Okay,
next week. So it's probably not going to be up.
okay. So we'll
So,
get in touch with you on Instagram and
yes,
inside the group. Okay, that's cool.
yes. Mm.
All
So
right.
thanks a lot.
You are welcome.